So let's think the future here. And you mentioned Stuart Brand, who actually is here, among others, thinking big. If we think big picture, is it too crazy to think that what's happening in the next decade to 30 to 50 years is almost like civilization building? I mean, that we're kind of rethinking such fundamentals here, and a lot of climate change and others, that the changes are going to be much more than the norm. I mean, kind of big system change at some fundamental level. Or is that a little bit hyperbolic?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, you know, if you believe, as many folks believe, that the combinatorial nature of technology and the exponential nature of technology is going to be as disruptive in the next decade as I believe and some others believe, then yes, it's as that size and scope. I mean, Andrew McAfee wrote that wonderful book, The Second Machine Age, right? And he used the analogy of the example of the chessboard. He says we're entering the second half of the chessboard. And you guys remember the old story of the king who was so impressed with this invention called chess, and the poor man who invented it came to the king and said, "Thank you, sir, I'm so grateful for your recognition." The king said, "Anything you want, sir, it shall be yours." And he said, "Well, I am a humble man. I want to just feed my family. I'd like nothing more than this. 1 grain of rice for every square." Doubled. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 6. King said, "You've got it." King went to sleep. Folks woke the king up, said, "You've been duped." The king said, "What?" He said, "Well, we got to the second half of the chessboard. We counted 63 spaces, 63 doublings. It's 18 quintillion. More than all of the grain of rice ever been produced in the history of mankind." And of course, the king, so says the legend, did what most of us would have done. He beheaded the person. That's made up. But the point is, we're entering this. Trump may. Yeah, well, he may, right? But we're entering the second half of the chessboard, right? Moore's law. I mean, artificial intelligence and big data, synthetic biology and genomics. What's happening with additive manufacturing and smart metals? All these things happening. I mean, people were just wildly dreaming of driverless cars. Well, that's millions of jobs from my perspective. You got to look at this machine. It's real. It's happening. It's happening in real time, and our education system can't keep up with it. Our regulatory system's not even close to keeping up with it. And our politics, as a consequence, to your point, to your question, have not kept up with it. And I think we have to lean in and understand it more thoroughly.